I'd like to go to Mr. PDT Achari as well as VK Agnihotri. VK Agnihotri is former Secretary General Rajya Sabha and former Secretary Parliamentary Affairs. The question is just pure protocol as per the Constitution, sir. Should the President of the country, President Murmu, have inaugurated the new Parliament building?
You see, I would like to make a distinction between the Parliament and Parliament building. What is at issue now is Parliament building, not the Parliament. There cannot be any question about the President being the head of the Parliament. Actually, the Parliament is defined as President and the two houses. That is Parliament. So, the Constitution provides that the President will address the two houses assembled together every year in the first session. That is what the Constitution provides. Now, as far as the inauguration of the Parliament building is concerned, it is an executive matter. Of course, if the President was invited, then it would have been improper for anybody else to inaugurate it. But if President is not there, then there is no problem in the Prime Minister inaugurating it or somebody else doing it as per the requirement of this thing. And I am told that last time the Speaker had invited the Prime Minister, for some inauguration or something to do with the Parliament building. So that is purely an executive matter. It is not a question of the dignity of the Parliament as I think about it in constitutional terms.
All right. Mr. Achari, do you also see that clear distinction between Parliament and the parliamentary building? The Parliament, of course, undoubted, unparalleled. The President is the head of Parliament, but the building is different from the Parliament. Therefore, the Prime Minister can inaugurate the Parliament building.
Well, it's very clear that there is a distinction between Parliament building and the Parliament. As my former colleague Mr. Agnihotri has said, Parliament as defined in the Constitution means the President and the two houses. And everybody knows that the President comes to inaugurate the Parliament. Now the point is, there can be a feeling, in fact there is a feeling, strong feeling, that the new Parliament building, which according to the government represents the new India. When such a parliament is inaugurated, naturally it should be the President who should inaugurate it. It's a general feeling about it. And the opposition parties are, they have expressed their views very strongly. So, but the point is, the Prime Minister in this country occupies a very unique position. In our constitutional setup, the entire executive power is concentrated in the Prime Minister. And it is the Prime Minister who decides who should inaugurate this building and whether it should be the President or the Prime Minister himself or somebody else. It is actually the decision of the Prime Minister, because every decision is taken by him on all these matters, important decisions. So when the Prime Minister decides that the Parliament building should be inaugurated by him, then we can't say anything about it, because it is, after all, it is the Prime Minister who could have decided that the Parliament building would be inaugurated by the President. It is the Prime Minister who has decided that not the President, it will be inaugurated by the Prime Minister. So, it is actually the Prime Minister who will decide.
Okay.
It is his decision. It is his decision. Now, whether it is wrong or right, I do not want to make a value judgment on that.
Right.
But this is the fact.
But Mr. PDT Achari, and that's what is being debated right now. Can you actually, distinguish between the Parliament building and the Parliament as such? Because many view the Parliament building as the Parliament.
Well, you see, that distinction, in a technical sense, we can make that distinction. But otherwise, it doesn't carry us too far. That is what I feel. That distinction exists. After all, building is a building. And Parliament constitutionally means something else. But it doesn't carry us too far, especially when we deal with this question, where a certain amount of opposition, strong opposition, has been expressed by a certain section of the political section of the political class. So naturally, you know, there can be an opinion that perhaps it should have been inaugurated by the president. There can be an opinion, but since the Prime Minister has decided, who is the final authority on all these matters, then there cannot be any further question about it. It is his decision. As I said, he could have decided that the President will inaugurate. He could have decided.
Mr. VK, right. You know, Mr. VK Agnihotri, I'll come back to you, sir. And, you know, once again, I just request a bit of patience from our political panelists. I just want to take a question or two from Mr. VK Agnihotri and Mr. PDT Achari. Mr. VK Agnihotri, in terms of past precedents, has there been precedents earlier? Because, you know, both sides, be it the opposition or the incumbent government, are arguing that there have been instances in the past where not the President, the Prime Minister, has either laid the foundation stone or inaugurated various parts of the Parliament building, which could be the library or the annex.
Actually, if you have been listening to the, news items, I don't have access to all the information on this subject. But if you have been listening, then not only in the Parliament, but even in the state assemblies, etc., the executive has been inaugurating facilities in the legislature. So there are precedents, but I cannot warrant or guarantee those because they were not there in my time.
All right, okay. PDT Achari, you know, if you look at past precedents, it has happened, sir, because, you know, today what is it? The incumbent government is arguing that it happened in 1975, then it happened in 1987 under Ms. Indira Gandhi and Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, where one inaugurated and laid, and the other laid the foundation stone for the library and the annex.
Yeah, there are precedents. I'm not denying that. The point is that we invited the Honorable President to inaugurate the museum in the library. That is also a precedent. So all these precedents are there. That's what I'm saying. Somebody has to decide about it. And that somebody is the Prime Minister, nobody else. Nobody else will decide it. The Prime Minister has decided. And so far as this inauguration is concerned, that is the end of the matter. Now, we can certainly go on discussing the rights and wrongs of it, or the propriety or otherwise of this issue. But that is neither here nor there.